journey that's never been tried before. Exactly 174 years after the start of the Forlorn Hope journey, 4 people are set to cross 100 miles on foot across the Sierra Nevada mountains.
They hope to honor the 17 members of the Donner Party that set out on snowshoes with hopes to reach a settlement near Sacramento. After the 33-day journey, only 7 survived. Starting tomorrow morning, Bob Crowley, Tim Tweetmeyer, Jennifer Hemmon, and Elka Reimer will begin their journey from Donner Lake to Johnson's Ranch.
And all 4 of them join us live now and on Zoom. And so thank you for being here. And we're just hours before you begin this. So Elka, let's start with you. What's going through your mind right now?
Gosh, well, I've got all my gear packed up, and I'm just hoping that I have the right gear for the right conditions, given that we've got some weather hopefully ahead of us, and I'm hoping to watch Mark Finan to get the details of that, actually. So making sure that we have the right gear for the right weather. And then also just really making sure that the conditions we are prepared for the conditions, whatever they might be, especially with the river crossing in the North Fork, not knowing exactly what the water level will be like there. But most importantly, trying to be as much as we can be in the minds of those people from 1846. And for me, especially the women, 3 of these women had to leave children behind as they sought help on the other side. So I will definitely be in the thought process of what they were thinking.
And be sure to report back to us when you know what those river levels are, so we can pass that along to Mark, and he will give very specific forecasts coming up. I'm also curious, and maybe let's talk to you, Tim. Why even do this? Why put yourselves through this? I know you're all great athletes, but why do this?
We were just captured by the story of the Forlorn Hope. When you think of the Donner Party, often it's told as mistakes, bad luck, and dire consequences back at the lake. But we, as athletes and trail aficionados and adventurers, we thought that the story could be written for the Forlorn Hope as they kind of conquered, they fashioned their own snowshoes and made it over the pass and made the 90 to 100 mile trek. After being almost hopelessly lost in the North Fork of the river, they overcome ridiculous obstacles and just showed an unwavering will to get to Wheatland so they could actually get help back to their families back in Donner Lake. So it's just a compelling story, and we thought it was worth retelling just because oftentimes the story concentrates on the Donner Party and not necessarily the Forlorn Hope, which we thought, as athletes adventure was a great historic trek.
Yeah, it seems that's a great point you make there, Tim. So, Jennifer, let's go to you. Tell us something that you are hoping to personally accomplish with this.
Well, I echo a lot of what Elka and Tim said, but my hope is to put the entire journey through the eyes of the individuals, the personalities we now come to know who are on the Forlorn Hope, and to see the entire trek through the eyes of these individuals who, like Tim said, showed immense courage. They had intense suffering, many losses, and they persevered. It would have been easier to give up, and they didn't. Even in the face of fear and losing their leader, and even for the young women who had lost both their father and their husband on the trail, they continued on simply because they knew they were the only hope for their family back at the lake. And I just want to put myself in that mindset to see the entire trail through what they must have felt when they saw the weather come in. And I think that's the most important thing we can do to pass on.
Bob, I'm just curious, for the safety of all of you, are there going to be people that are following? And I mean, how does this work? Because we don't want you guys to get lost. Who's making sure you guys are okay? That's my question.
Luckily, we have a very professional group of support folks, a small group, but they're all professionals, as we are. We've spent decades in the wild together and separately, so we're confident. We know where we're going. We promise we won't get lost, and no one will have to come find us.
All right, you heard it here. If Line Copter 3 has to go out there. No, I'm just kidding. All right, we wish you guys the very best and all the safety, obviously, and what a great story you're going to help retell. You can follow their journey on their website, forlornhope.org. That's FORLORN hope.org.
Really fascinating that they're doing this, and I love some of the answers they gave too as to the reasons why. It makes a lot of sense.
I'm cold just thinking about it.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be interesting to hear what they report back to us afterwards. So many of us